All right. Greetings, all. It's Max, and we're back. And today we're going to talk crypto a little bit. I did a whole video, kind of the basics of crypto, why people should buy Bitcoin, and when would be the right time to buy. Should you buy? And at the time, there was a whole mess of shorts, which are bets that the price is going to go down. And that started with the El Salvador thing. And we had talked about that a little bit. But this other big spike right here was like May 17th, May 18th it says, where Bitcoin like instantly crashed down to 30,000 and then started to come back up. And you can see the different levels of the amounts of shorts that were involved in there. So as you can see here, people are still shorting the market, but also when we look at like liquidations, meaning that their shorts didn't come through and they had to pay the exchange back. You know, you take out a bet and you borrow, say, 100 Bitcoin. Okay, you borrow it on Monday with the idea that the price will go down by Friday. So you borrow them on Monday and sell them at your price. And then you're hoping the price goes down so that when you have to come and get your 100 Bitcoin and give them back, you know, you buy them at a cheaper price. And then you make a profit on the difference. Well, that ain't happening because Bitcoin's been going up all weekend, despite being shorted as bad as it is. So you can see there's some long positions being liquidated, but the short positions are starting to be liquidated as well, which is good. Score one for the Bitcoiners. The price continues to rise despite these shorts going up. So, you know, here's the thing is like, you can't predict the market and they could drop the hammer. But in my personal opinion, if you're getting in around 40,000 or in the mid 30s to 40,000, you're still in good. Even if they do slam the market down and bring her down to 25, which I don't see happening. But let's just say they did. It really doesn't matter, guys. Bitcoin is a hold'em game. Okay? So in the short term, even if it does go down because of the shorts, in 6 months, you're not going to care. And the reason that I say that, I mean, it sounds kind of weird, right? But we'll look at Coinbase. Okay, and this is me, all right? I bought into Bitcoin at 35. It went up to like 50 and then it plummeted. So I sold and ended up buying back in at like 45. And I kind of maybe broke even on the deal. But, you know, as far as right now goes, I am down on my reinvestment, right? And I'm not worried about it. Okay. So it's at 40,000 and it was at a high of 65 around there. We were like, oh, Bitcoin down 40%, 40%. Well, it depends on the time frame. Crypto going up and down is not abnormal for it in a day to go up or down 15% just as normal. Right? Stock market goes up and down 3%. If it goes up and down 5%, people lose their minds. Crypto does not work that way, which is the same token. You can be made a millionaire overnight by Dogecoin because people pump it, right? You can also get wrecked if you're in some of these meme coins. You're not going to get wrecked on the long term on Bitcoin, barring complete catastrophical war on Bitcoin by every government on the planet. Is not going to happen. We'll take a look. It all depends on the time frame, right? So people will say, oh, well, it was at 65 and now it's at 35, right? And now it's at 40. Oh man, look how much value it lost. And it's like, okay, let's look at the year chart. And 1 year ago, it was worth $9,376. Okay? So we had our big run up. I guess on Coinbase, it was 64,899. We had our big run up in 1 year from $9,000 to $6,500 or $65,000. And then it dropped back down to 35, or so we'll just say 30,000. It dropped down to 30,000. Okay, well, if you invested back here before November. If you invested before November, you paid $10,000 or less per Bitcoin. Do you care that the price went down to $30,000 after hitting 65K? No. You're still 300x your investment. Right? Now, a lot of people, including Michael Saylor and some real big, and Tesla bought it like 55,000 or something. A lot of people invested up in this range where, you know, you're between 40, 50,000, between 50 and 60,000. Okay. So yeah, they're hurting. The big thing here is with this drop, it doesn't really hurt Bitcoin. It's kind of a good thing in a way. It's a consolidation. The only negative about it is it's manufactured so that BlackRock and these big guys can make more money and they can collect more Bitcoin. But Bitcoin hasn't, on a year note, it's still up 300% in a year. It's still up 300%. All right. Now, what this really hurts is the altcoin market, where you have these 6,000 other coins that are basically worthless, speculative, you know, at this point, garbage. None of them do anything. Ethereum is used to transfer between tokens of different sorts, but who is using this stuff as day-to-day business sort of a thing? Nobody. Speculation. Not saying that there's not going to be value there in the future, but that's what they are. Bitcoin is still up 300% despite the 50% crash. Now the alts are really taking it hit hard because yeah, they're altcoins and nobody cares. Altcoins are typically retail investors where it's people that only, you know, have like a couple $100 to invest. They're the people who are going to be on Robinhood apps and things like that. And this is the alt market is their market. Whereas like your major investor market is going to be Bitcoin. So anyways, when the shorts went through, Bitcoin was pretty weak. And we had an Elon Musk tweet to sound it all off, which is pretty funny. Elon, some people would say that he kind of manipulates or runs the market. No, he's the guy who puts the code word out there to let everyone know that Operation BlackRock is going to be put into motion, because people who care about what Elon Musk thinks don't have enough money to move the market. Okay. When you're talking Bitcoin, at the time, it was a $2 trillion market. Some guy with his $20 or $500 on his Robinhood app is not going to move the price of Bitcoin. You need hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. Hundreds of millions will only make 1% dent. You need hundreds of billions to really move the market in Bitcoin. And that is not your Robinhood app investors. That is not the people who follow Elon Musk and go, "What's Elon doing?" But he came out and tweeted again to say, "Oh, we're going to take Bitcoin now." After he bought Bitcoin and said Tesla's going to accept Bitcoin for their Teslas. Then he said, "No, we can't because of environmental reasons." And then we had the systematic short selling to drop the market. And now he's coming out and saying that, "Oh no, it's okay. We're going to take Bitcoin for our Teslas again." All in the span of about a month. Okay, it's a month. It's a complete con job. This guy is just a con man. And BlackRock is telling him what to do because they own a vast percentage of Tesla. And the other companies who are invested in Tesla, I can't think of the name in particular, the CEO of that was asked about what happened with Elon Musk and his tweets. And they said, well, BlackRock probably gave him a call and said something about environmental concerns. Okay. So this is the thing that's going on. It's not Elon tweets and the whole world listens to Elon Musk. No, he's just the guy who's more or less letting everybody know, all of his friends and his buddies, we're going to put in the operation to try and accumulate Bitcoin. Okay. And now he's putting out a tweet, I think, to say that the operation is over. Okay. That's what I believe. So when it comes to these shorts, something could happen with this to where, the price goes maybe back down to 35, maybe, but you can't depend on that. You can't depend on that. This could be put in here specifically for the reason of making people scared to invest to keep the price low too. You know, personally, I think that some of these other Central American, South American countries are really, really close to saying Bitcoin is going to be our currency, and Bitcoin's going to skyrocket. That's my own personal belief on that. So at 40,000, it's definitely not a horrible time to be involved in it. And, you know, that's how it is. The shorts I'd hoped would have cleared by this week, but they're actually being added to. And because the price is continuing to go up, I'm like, well, they're all going to get liquidated. And I hope I'm hoping the price goes to like 50,000, because then they'll really get liquidated, right? If they do a short and the price doesn't move at all, they really don't lose anything. They kind of more or less break even. They pay a fine or pay a fee to the exchange. But if Bitcoin goes up by, 20%, then it really is going to crush the old BlackRock and them guys. And I'm all for that. I don't like the market manipulation. And of course, as governments get involved, a lot of that stuff, there's going to be more laws against it. And as more laws come in, there's going to be more players. You'd think that when something is more regulated, that the price would go down or people wouldn't want it as much. But what's holding a lot of people back, a lot of companies back, is that because there's no regulation, they don't know what their obligations are, maybe as far as taxes or as far as what it is to their shareholders or whatever. There's still a lot of mystery when it comes to crypto market. It's brand new. So when more regulation comes in, it actually could be a good thing. And if it's a bad thing, like particularly in America, for some reason, when it comes to things like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, we still adhere to imaginary borders. So Bitcoin doesn't, though. So if you have bad laws and local legislation in your state or in your country, you can take your Bitcoin anywhere. And then a lot of these places that they're trying to do things against Bitcoin, they haven't figured that out. I was listening to Michael Saylor, who was talking about in the 80s, people on their yachts. And this town was doing very well because all the rich people parked their yachts in the harbor. And then they decided they need more money in this town. So they started a yacht tax. And the day before the yacht tax was going to go through, all the people in their yachts, they packed up and they moved to the next harbor, and that town basically shut down. And that's the same thing with Bitcoin, guys. So the idea that you're going to buy Bitcoin and it's going to be outlawed or nobody's going to take it or whatever this is, that's not something to even consider or worry about. Somebody is going to take Bitcoin somewhere. Especially in America with guys like with BlackRock in it, because the government can't tick off BlackRock because BlackRock holds the Social Security savings and does all those investments. Same with Goldman Sachs. They can do whatever they want to. They're owning Bitcoin. They're owning cryptocurrencies. It's here to stay. And you don't need to worry about too much in the old home of the slave here in America, right? Which we're working to get out. This is an opportunity. This is a freedom opportunity. And again, obviously you don't want your investments to go down in money, down in value, right? You don't want your investments to go down in value. You don't want to buy at 40,000 and then have it the next day go down to 20,000 because the shorts go through. But in the long term, it ain't going to stay at 20,000. The history has shown it goes up. All right. And right now, the market, everyone's doom and gloom because, like I said, they got in within the last 3 or 4 months. And no, the longer you sit in Bitcoin, the longer you set it, forget it, and just keep plugging away at it, the better off you're going to be. And you're not even going to care if the market drops. Now, are you going to care that you bought it at 40,000 and by the end of this year, people are projecting 200,000. Are you going to care? You bought it at 40,000. It hits 200,000 and then it goes down to 150,000 or 120,000, are you going to care that you bought it at 40,000 and then a day later it went to 25? No, because at the end of the year, it's going to be 200,000. Now that is projections that Max Kaiser makes, who's been right pretty well every time he projects. Most Goldman Sachs, is it Goldman? I don't remember if it's Goldman Sachs or one of the Chase Manhattans or whatever's. The big bankster guys, they project 200,000. BlackRock projects 200,000. All right. My own thing is like, I figured like 100,000. Okay. I'm way more conservative than all these other guys, but let's just say it hits 100,000. Are you going to care if you bought it at 40,000 and it went down briefly to 25 or 35 or whatever it is? And then at the end of the year, it's 100,000. And that's the way you have to look at it. It's a long game, long play. As far as altcoins, if you're into trading, you really like crypto and you've gotten into it. I know a lot of people out there have gotten their Coinbase account set up. Good for you guys. And ready to get involved in this. Now, if you're a person who knows a bit more savvy, maybe a little bit more money to play with, altcoins are all on sale. They're all very much on sale. The altcoins just they're not keeping up with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is it used to own 50% of the market, and then it went down to like 38% or so. When Bitcoin was at like $65,000 a coin, it went down to like upper 30s for the percentage of the total crypto market. Well, now it's back up over 40%. So Bitcoin is coming back and holding its value through these tough times, and the altcoins are struggling a little bit because the altcoins, kind of depend on the young money, the young YOLO money, and so everything is on sale. Ethereum's got some things that are coming out for upgrades. I don't think that's till November though, but it was up at $4,500 for an Ethereum coin. A lot of people like it. There are big investors into Ethereum. As far as I know, that's really about it. There are some big investors in Cardano and big investors in things that it's called Binance Chain, which is an exchange that has its own coin. But everything else is all pretty well retail. From what I know. But if you want to pick up, Cardano, if you want to pick up your Dogecoin, it's only 32 cents. I don't recommend that. So yeah, that's what's going on in the market. 40,000 are shorts. They're getting liquidated. These shorts that are coming through that I was kind of sketchy on, they're getting liquidated. So I don't know what the deal is. Maybe they're waiting for a time, but yeah, I think the Elon saying we accept Bitcoin for Teslas now. No one cares, Elon. Nobody cares. You can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. The only thing that was significant about that at the time that he did that was now you're putting this Bitcoin in the position that it's actually used as currency, which the government doesn't like because they tax it as an asset like a house. Bitcoin's a currency. You can't tax it at 40%. You really can't tax it at all if it's a currency. But now with El Salvador doing its thing and saying, hey, it's a currency, it doesn't matter what Elon does. I think that whole thing was a smokescreen by BlackRock, and they're just using Elon Musk as the announcer to all the people in the know. When you see this tweet from Elon, when you see Elon say something about it, we're selling, right? And you see this tweet from Elon, that we're buying and everything is done. And that's what makes sense to me. So yeah, as far as it goes, I said hold off a couple of days for these shorts, and they're just adding to the shorts and the price is still going up. What I'd hate to see is like you wait too long and the thing, you go and buy it, because Bitcoin can go up by 100% in a day. All right. Michael Saylor is going to buy his $500 million worth of Bitcoin sometime this week. That is hardly going to move the price, but you'll hear Michael Saylor goes through, then you'll hear El Salvador does something with Bitcoin, then you're going to hear that Panama is doing something with Bitcoin, and then you're going to hear from all of these Central American countries, you know? So you don't want to be sitting there waiting to buy or not have your account set up. So yeah, at the very least, get your Coinbase account set up. So you're ready to pull the trigger, whatever happens. So there you have it. And with that, I think we are going to be out of here.